One take. This is NBA One Take. Featuring yours truly, Pretty Boy Laker. You can subscribe on YouTube. As well, you can follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, as well as Facebook. One take for your head, one take for your brain. It's a special Western Conference NBA playoff preview. Finally, we're here to the playoffs, man. And there will not be no Lakers content, which, I don't know, it's just creeped in all my feeds. Just have a way of getting it in there. All right. So we're gonna go through the Western Conference, and we're going with the #1 seed, the Golden State Warriors, versus the number 8 seed, LA Clippers. Now, people say, oh, whoa, wow, the Warriors, look who they drawed. And no, this is not saying something scary for the Warriors, but they may have to fight this series, and they're gonna have to, per se, out-talent them, because it looks like the Clippers, they're gonna fight. They're going to fight for everything. Doc Rivers, he's very excited with this team, and they got Gallo, who can be a problem match for them. He's like a stretch 4. They got Montrezl Harrell and Lou Williams coming off the bench. I don't know who's the 6th man, but Lou Williams leads the team in scoring. He had 20 points a game. Lou Williams is one of the best bench players in the history of the game, man. He's all-time leading bench scorer. Pat Beverly developing rookie Shea Gilchrist-Alexander. This is going to be a test for the Warriors. And I mean, with Curry and Clay, but Curry, we don't know what's going on with his injury. Not gonna speculate anything on that. And Durant, he's ready. Draymond ready. Boogie Cousins' first playoff game. We just want to see what Steve Kerr got. He's saying that he never alludes to this, but it feels like the last dance with the '98 team back in Chicago. So this is what they've been playing for. One in this. No more boredom. It's time to get to work. But I feel that the Warriors is going to beat them in 5 games. I think the Clippers will get 1. I get the Clippers to get 1 game against them. People say sweep. Now I think they're going to get 1. They'll get 1 and they'll advance. Next matchup. Okay, this one. See, the Rockets really dropped the ball on this one. They're the 4th seed against the 5th Utah Jazz. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Utah in the last 2 playoffs, they've been at that spot. And every time they've been at that spot, they've defeated who they faced in that first round. Notably, the Clippers and OKC last year. But this is not the year. The Jazz, as great as they did defensively, it's going to be the Rockets' high-powered offense with my MVP, who I chose, and I felt that was the MVP for most of the year, James Harden. James Harden is on a mission. And it's not that he's trying to prove anything. He's going to try to make everything a statement. Got CP3. Hopefully his health can permit him to play. You know, him and the Banana Boat crew, on a side note, went up to Brooklyn for D-Wade's last game. It was good look for LeBron, Melo, and CP3 in there. Support their man. Wade, yeah. But I don't know if Donovan Mitchell, Joe Ingles, Rudy Gobert, they just don't have enough offense to even compete with the Rockets' high-powered offense. Because if they did, then I would choose them. But this series, no, it's not going to be 5 games. It's not going to be 6 games. This is a 7-game series, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be hard for the Rockets. I think on some games they will struggle to find some offense, consistent, more efficient offense to their liking. And it's going to be a problem. But I got the Rockets winning the 7 games against the Jazz. I think the Jazz just turns up in the playoffs. They just play it to their maximum ability. That's why I love Quinn Snyder. He's a great coach. Next series. It's going to be Portland versus OKC Thunder. Now, if you asked me a month ago who I would have chose before CJ McCollum and Nurk went down, I'm saying Portland all the way. Because look how OKC's been playing. Well, OKC been showing a little here and there that, you know, they moved up, but they at the 6th spot. And Portland winning out is at the 3rd spot. And I know why Portland was trying to win, because this series got a lot of implications on the future of both franchises. Portland lost their owner. There's going to be some ownership issues, as well as if they don't get out the first round, there's a possibility they may trade CJ McCollum. Now, I love CJ McCollum. He's just, I love his podcast. I love his insight. I love the way he articulates basketball, training, just the nuances of the game. He's one of the best NBA, I think, not saying podcaster, but just current evaluating certain things, you know. I love JJ Redick, but he doesn't really get to the nuances of the games. It's more, with him, it's a broader view about certain things, and he gets into other facets of culture and life and things like that. But I don't know what's up with CJ McCollum's injury. I think he'd be ready. Will he be ready? Will he have game reps and then Nurkic is out? This is not good for them. I mean, Paul George is coming back. That injury is getting better, and Russ he's still being Russ, but there's just something about this team. They just backspin against the wall, and then since then, they just been elevating themselves. And I think that's going to carry in the playoffs. I don't think Dame is going to lose. No matter what Dame say, talking about, you know, the super team thing is kind of corny, him leaving and joining. He's not that type of person. He's just a Blazer for life. Bro, so you in a situation where you being recruited and you go through that whole free agency process, whatever you love about home, you go into someone else's house and it's nice and clean and things look totally different. You and all with that kind of stuff. And that's what I see. I mean, his free agency is not for another 2 years. But I'm going to tell you something. It's going to be real interesting what happened with Dame. Because I feel like the OKC Thunder is going to beat them in 6 games. They just cannot defend. And just not having all your soldiers with you. You know, and you're going to be plugging in guys that's never been in situations like this. And I think the OKC Thunder, with their experience, is going to finally get out this first round. And I got them in 6 games. I actually got to hit up one of my boys, big OKC Thunder fan. It's 2 of them. Gotta let them know about their team. But the next and the last one is going to be the Denver Nuggets versus San Antonio Spurs. Okay, I'm gonna tell you straight up. You know how I feel about Denver this whole season. I just see them as that 2013 team, man. I just look at them as that, man. 50-some wins and you lost to the Warriors. A team that's going to be honed on defense. And they're going to be playing against the Spurs. I think the Spurs will defend them. With DeRozan, with Aldridge. And I feel that Nikola Jokic, the Joker, he's going to be in over his head. And then Jamal Murray, I think he's going to be inconsistent. And that depth that they had isn't always going to be there. It's going to be some great games for some guys, and I think their big stars is not going to show up. And I think the Spurs is going to mucky it up. And they're going to beat them in 7 games. And with the last game going to be in Denver. And they're going to beat them. And it's going to shock a lot of the analytic guys, the podcasters, you know, the guys that was really on this Denver thing with this regular season team as what they was with the Hawks back in 2015. I'm going to tell you, they're losing. The Spurs will beat them. And I think the Spurs was happy to get that because the Spurs need to get out this first round. I'm not saying Popovich, they need to get out and see where they can build from here because losing their stars, losing their young players, you know, Lonnie Walker and DeJounte Murray, you know, puts a lot of pressure on Aldridge and DeRozan. So they're going to beat them in 7 games. And it's going to raise a lot of questions about this team going forward. I love Mike Malone. He's a great coach. You know how I feel about him. He helped them big in Golden State. Didn't really have too much to work with when he was at the Kings. Improved the Nuggets every step of the way from every single season. But this ain't about coaching. This is about what you have on the floor and what it takes for them to win. And how I feel, I think the Spurs is going to win in 7 games. This is NBA Onetake. This is yours truly, Pretty Boy Laker, here in New York City. Eastern Conference preview is coming up. Some things may shock you, some things may not. This is Pretty Boy Laker, and I'm out.